Ana Navarro, co-host of The View and a longtime Republican political commentator, is once again making headlines for her fiery criticism of Donald Trump and his supporters. With the new season of The View just around the corner and political tension running high, Navarro has been using her platform, and even her Instagram stories, to call out what she describes as the harsh and damaging policies of the Trump administration. This time, her remarks were directed squarely at what she labeled as Latino Trumpers, a group she says is turning a blind eye to the real-life consequences of the very policies they supported. Her comments came in response to disturbing reports of increased ICE activity and immigration enforcement across the country. Navarro shared a message from New York Governor Kathy Hochul, who released a statement condemning the reported detention of a 7-year-old girl by ICE officers. In her own words, Navarro asked, "Where are all them Christians at?" questioning how such actions could be justified under the moral and religious values so often cited by Trump supporters. Hochul's statement, which Navarro reposted, pointed out the hypocrisy of labeling a child as one of the so-called worst of the worst and called the administration's promises into question. Navarro then took things a step further, spotlighting a CBS News report that revealed new neighborhood checks could become part of the citizenship application process under Trump's leadership. In bold text over the headline, she wrote, "Latino Trumpers, is this the S you all voted for?" Her frustration was palpable as she pressed the point even harder, asking whether these policies meant that families, including TIAs and abuelas, could now be spied on by their own government. This is hardly the first time Navarro has clashed with the Trump administration. In the past, she has been vocal about her disgust with migrant detention centers in Florida, which some people disturbingly treated as tourist attractions. On The View, she condemned such behavior as racist and dehumanizing, calling those who participated horrible human beings. That commentary was met with a sharp response from the White House, which dismissed Navarro outright. A statement from spokesperson Abigail Jackson mocked her intelligence, saying, "Every time you think Ana Navarro can't get any dumber, she proves you wrong." The statement went on to defend the detention centers by pointing out that they house violent criminals, including cases where undocumented individuals had committed heinous crimes. Despite the pushback, Navarro hasn't wavered in her criticisms. In fact, the more she speaks out, the more it seems to ignite a political firestorm around her. Recently, her outspoken nature has even fueled broader debates about The View itself, with FCC Chair Brendan Carr suggesting that the show could face consequences if it does not address what he perceives as an overwhelming liberal bias. That warning has only heightened the sense that Navarro and her co-hosts are standing in the middle of an increasingly polarized media and political landscape. For Navarro, however, the issue remains deeply personal. As someone who immigrated from Nicaragua, she has often spoken about her understanding of how immigration policies affect real families and communities. Her critiques aren't just political talking points. They're rooted in her own lived experience and in her empathy for immigrants who fear being targeted by government crackdowns. By calling out Latino Trumpers, she is forcing a conversation within her own community, asking difficult questions about loyalty, values, and the consequences of voting decisions. Whether people agree with Navarro or not, one thing is certain: she refuses to stay silent. In a political climate where every word is scrutinized, her willingness to speak bluntly about issues of race, immigration, and justice makes her one of the most polarizing voices on daytime television. And as the Trump administration continues to push controversial policies, it's safe to say Ana Navarro will remain on the front lines, challenging, provoking, and refusing to let her critics shut her down.